Oh. You know when it starts like this, I've got nothing. There's nothing here today. But nothing isn't always bad. I mean, it is a classic example. Good Lord. Good Lord. Fans on. Bosh. Yeah. And when you're celebrating the fan, you know that your presenter has got nothing. The fan is on. Look, I can show you. Yeah. This is not an advert. I'm not sponsored by these people. Cornflakes there. Originally developed, of course, to stop young boys from interfering with themselves. True story. Well, it might be a myth. You know, it's one of these things that I've checked it, and I haven't found any fact checker that says it's actually a lie. No, old Mr. Kellogg felt that there was something in corn that stopped young boys doing what all young boys do all the time. And if they're not actually doing it, they're thinking about it. I'm just going to put this out to the ladies in the chat and the men, because I'm going to need the ones from the men. From about, 11 years old to about 49. Give me a 1 if, well, let's just say 11 to 18. Let's just make a bracket. Men, from 11 to 18, did thinking about concerning yourself with, shall we say, the birds and the bees take up a good 80-90% of your mental functioning? Give me a 1 if that's your experience of being a teenager. Let's say a teenager. I just don't think women quite understand the power, the pure chemical power of going from a hello, do you want to come and play Action Men? Look at those ones flying. No one, just bosh. You just like, do you want to play Action Man? Yeah, I can make a cloak. Look, that's lovely. And then nature, Mother Nature, yeah, you bitches. They're still going. Mother Nature says, right, and puts together a little hit, right? And then just gets you in your sleep. She comes down from on high, like an angel of lust. Like an angel of lust it is. Through your bedroom window, into your bedroom. And then she's off. And that boy wakes up in the morning and he goes, Mum, can I have some breakfast? What the fuck's happening? No. And then the next time he plays football, after he's playing football, he's sitting there waiting for his Sunday bath 5 days later. And he's like, the fuck is that? I'll tell you this, and I've told you this before on my channel. When I first started getting adult body odor, post-pubescent adult body odor, I thought it smelled, it reminded me of the smell of my old man's foundry where he worked, smelting bronze. Because when I went to work with him, all the men had BO. In those days, we're talking like 1975, men didn't have a shower in the morning and get some, and I mean, let's be fair, antiperspirant is a disaster. Do not use antiperspirant. 2 reasons. 1, fresh sweat, fresh Like, so you've had a bath, you go out, that's your weapon. Women have been programmed to respond to that for millennia. It's masculine. It's fresh. You can't get away with it. 8 hours, it's got to go. But you've got about 8 hours where that is just incredible. And if you and I'll tell you this for sure, colognes, perfumes, whatever you want to call them, each perfume, and that male scents are known as perfume because perfume is a thing. It's not like it's not male, masculine or feminine. It's a way of describing scents. They smell different on every person because they bind with your natural odors. Because if you go and then you encounter someone, they're going to smell that, but they're also going to smell you. This is why if you're going to buy a cologne, don't go into the shop and get one of those bits of paper and go and then smell the paper, because you ain't ever going to smell like that. If you go into a shop and you're thinking of buying a new cologne, and you should have a scent and stick with it for a long time, because then people recognize it. But what you need to do if you're looking for a new one, do the paper test to make sure it doesn't make you smell like toilet cleaner. And then put some on. Put some on your wrists. There's a women that's still on the mind. There's a reason women put scent on their wrists, because your pulse and your veins are high there. Give them a little rub together like a gay boy. No problem. Get out, give it half hour, and then smell it, because then you're going to get what it's actually going to smell like on you. Anyway, that's a little aside. How unlike me. But when I first had that body odor, I'd only ever smelt it on my dad. And so when I smelled it, I thought, what? Why do I smell like Dad's work? Because that's what he smelled like when he came home. And I always thought it was the smell of the foundry. And even today, like not like right now, not like now. If I'm out and I exert myself, or when I'm in and I exert myself, you're all right. Calm yourself down, girls. I'll smell that, and it takes me right back to my father. It's because it smells exactly the same as him, and why wouldn't it? I am of him, and that's a nice thing, you know. It's a nice memory. But antiperspirant, and I'm separating that from deodorant. Okay, antiperspirant, it seals up, it glues together your sweat pores, and your body wants rid of that stuff. Doesn't want it. And now do we know that? Because it comes out. It's like putting a peg on your foreskin, or, to be inclusive, on your glands. It's like putting a peg on it and not letting that stuff out. Where does it go? Where does that stuff go? If you glue up your pores, where does it go? That's just wrong. That, you know, if you make a machine, imagine making a machine, a robot, and there's a little bit where you need oil, used oil, old oil, something like that. You need it to come out as like a little drip, because if you don't, it builds up and it causes things to start going wrong. Well, then one day you go, yeah, there's oil everywhere. It leaves oil and it's a bit smelly, all that old oil. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's just glue that little tube together so the old oil that was designed to come out stays in. That machine's going to slowly go wrong. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not use that stuff. Look, occasionally, all right, and occasionally I will, but I'm talking about maybe once a month. If I'm going to like a restaurant with friends or my missus and her family, and it's going to be a day out, maybe then I will. But it's rare, because you don't need it. Don't need it. Just sweat. Just make sure you have a wash when you get in. And women like it. They like it on an unconscious level. Don't think they go out thinking, right, I'm going to find the smelliest bloke in here. When I was at my most active was when I was at art school. And when you've got 12 of you living in an house made for 2 people, you don't go near that shower. The only showers I used to get was in girls' rooms after I'd been in the girls' room. And I don't ever remember. There was one girl who used to put my boots and socks on the window ledge and shut the window because I had some kind of trench foot. So there are limits to this. But think about that. Think about that. Don't go sealing up those pores. You're doing yourself a damage, and you're doing yourself a misservice when it comes to attracting women. This is just a fact. Just a fact. Yeah, but Livy, darling. Livy says, I don't like the smell of sweat. Yeah, but you can't smell sweat. Not just you. You can smell old sweat because bacteria starts forming. Bacteria starts forming and then it starts smelling. Who likes that? We all had those teachers at school who'd reach over and you'll be like, sorry, mate, your high karate isn't exactly masking that as much as you think because you're immune to your own sweat smell. Once it's been around for a while, but everyone else is like, fuck me. No, it's awful, Livy. But that first 4 or 5 hours when it's fresh, it's barely got a scent. But women respond to that. And why wouldn't they? They have been for years. Well, you can take it to whatever extremes you wish, but I'm just giving you my take on it. Cecil Pangahanda says, guys, be careful when uses tobacco. It's dangerous to your health. Yes, Cecil, good call. It's a very dangerous product. I use this, which makes me look like a prat, admittedly, but it doesn't make me look dead, and it doesn't stink either. Right, let me get the grift out of the way. People, this is going to be a short one today. Well, I say short, hour and 15, because I've got the missus coming over tomorrow, and I've got to go and get the old Barnet sorted. She can't come over and see this. It's just not on. It's just not cricket. Right, what am I looking for? The griftation. And I'll tell you what, I was thinking about her today as well, right? When I let me just do one thing at a time, Dangerfield. I ended up going to bed at 6 a.m. this morning, so I'm a little bit, hey, what? I'll tell you why. Because, hang on a minute, nearly there. Oh, better put my cock away. The neighbour's coming downstairs. Doesn't want to see that beast first thing in the morning. Probably go and hang himself. Sorry, people. Taking a little bit of time here. Bosh. And put that up there. We do that. And then we do that. We do that. And then we do that. So, hello. All right. Hi. You can support this channel by becoming a member. Link in the description. There's private streams for those people. I'll start rolling them out in the next week. I've just been very busy. Apologies. But you can become a member. I think one of them's £1, one £4, one £7. Super chat. $sign at the bottom of the the chat there. That would be lovely. Entropy, link in the description, but I'll also put it in the chat, and I will also pin it using my technological skills. It looks like I've missed a super chat from Grim, but I'm gonna catch it. I've just pinned the entropy link to the top of the chat. Oh, and I've got you cheeky bugger. Hoyt, nice one on that, Grim. Yeah, Tuesday. I mean, it's virtually the weekend. I mean, once Monday's out the way, it's just fast track. So, thank you very much, Grimster. Now, here's another thing, right? So my missus rings me up today. When she comes over, this is why I'm going to go and get my hair cut. And, I'll get my sideburns taken off. And, this is far too big. And I like to do that when she comes over because it shows her that I want to present myself nicer, and it shows her that I still care. After nearly 3 or maybe more than 3 years, I still care that she knows I've made the effort. And I'll tell you why. This is what happens every single time she comes from the provinces to my gaff. I'll be in bed. She arrives at 10 o'clock. She gets that taxi about 7 o'clock in the morning, right? She comes in, she doesn't wake me up. Then she goes up to the markets and she gets her hair done, which often includes extensions. Yeah, she's got loads of hair, real hair. I mean, she used to sell her hair. When the people used to go to the provinces to buy hair off the young girls, she used to sell it. And when she buys it, I said, imagine if that's your hair. That's a terrible investment. But she'll get her hair done. Yeah. She'll have a facial where they all massage her and do all sorts of shit. And then she gets nails put on that are, you've seen her talons. And then she always says to me the night before, she always says to me, what color do you want? What nails do you want? Right? Now, when she used to say that when we first met, me being a gentleman, I'd say, well, look, they're your nails. You know, you've got to live with them. It's up to you. And she was confused at that. She was confused. And I was confused at her confusion because I'd been living in England for 40 odd years. And she'd say, yeah, but I'm doing it for you. I want you to like them. I want you to find them sexy. And I'd be like, cannot compute. You know, I've had fucking slanging matches with women that have ended up in things being thrown around the house for daring to suggest they might do something for me sexually. And she's like, I want you to like them. What's the point? If you know, and I'll be like, oh, all right then, this color. And so now I'm just used to it. So she says, what do you want? And I told her, and she'll do that. And why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? I mean, I just got trained in a liberal environment where you can't expect your lover to do things for you. Madness. So, you know, so I have to return the favor at least. I won't be getting any nails put on. Maybe I should get long toenails to see if she likes that. Darling, I got some nails on my feet. But nice one, Grim. That's appreciated. Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I mean, occasionally I vary it just for her benefit, but if I had my way, I'd just say, well, it usually is always that hot pink. I occasionally go a bit of red. If I go red, she'll get a French, I don't know what it's called, French something, but it's red with a white tip. And also I get her the ends flat. I don't like them when they go to like a point. I like them when they're squared off, and she knows that as well. And I won't Chris it. See you later, Cecil. And you know, I'm not gonna give you too much information, but you can. John's hilarious. Thank you, Chrissy. You can see where I'm going with this, but when she's using her hands, it's fucking brilliant because that's what I like. And so, bingo, high five, sorted. And that all makes sense. No worries, Cecil. You look after yourself. I saw you singing the other night. If you're still here. I mean, I know you come here to advertise your stream and that in truth, but I did see you singing and I linked to it. Yeah, I've heard that so many times. I don't dress up for you. Really? So you walk around your house dressed like that, do you? That's how you wear. That's what you wear on a Sunday when you go and visit your mother and father. Those two tubes you're wearing. It's crazy. I mean, you know, it's faulty. It's at fault. Sexuality in the West has just been shat on. It's awful. Well, in fairness, she wasn't. Then it was a fair point. Don't smoke tobacco, and then she was off. Well, that's no problem if it's her money. Hello, Don. Bullet, you sent me a message. You responded to one of my shorts with a link, and you said, I hope you see this, and I've clicked it. Video's gone. So I just thought I'd let you that. There you go, people. There it is. We'll see you sometime. Don't worry, we'll raid you at some point. It's called a French manicure, is it, Emma? Lovely, isn't it? With the red, there's like a 3 mil white tip at the end. And honestly, she's like, she'll lean over and she'll drag them down my chest quite hard as well. And me being a lazy bastard, I'll go, I ain't up for it, darling. I've been working too hard. And then she goes, all right, no problem. And then she does it, and then she starts moving down. And I go, darling, that ain't going to happen. And then what? Then your body's made the decision for you. And she goes, oh, it ain't happening, no. Mars Lab, how are you, my friend? Even though she doesn't need to, my wife, even after decades together and plenty of kids, people, and one this year, yeah, she's still pumping them out. She always makes sure I'm okay with how she intends to cut and colour her hair. Beautiful. Beautiful. This isn't, and look, this isn't a one-way street. If I put something on that my missus don't like, she'll let me know. She'll just laugh at me. She'll go, the other night, we were going to go to Boklahong just round the corner. And I've got my Kramer, right, white T-shirt and my dealer boots. See them up there? There, right? They're a nice pair of boots, but they go well with a pair of jeans. But, and I walk around like that all the time looking like a prat. But she don't want to be seen with me like that. And she just laugh and go, no. And I go, all right, fair enough. And I'll put a pair of jeans on and, it's a two-way thing. But just having that honesty there, just having that honesty that we're lovers. I've said it before. I know people say that, she's my lover and my best friend. And okay, if that works for you, but I don't want my girlfriend to be my best friend. I've got a best friend. I want her to be my lover. I want her to be the woman that makes me go, oof, more than any other woman. And she does. And she does. And she does it because we've talked about it. She outright says to me, what do you like? What do you like? Do you like this? Do you like this? She does, fucking brilliant. And I was so damaged by a girlfriend, not my first girlfriend. My first girlfriend was much like that. But my second girlfriend and third one and fourth one they just guilted me out. What do you think I am? Some kind of prostitute? Well, unfortunately not. Which is absolutely why I end up going down there, because they will understand that I have a sexuality, and you, woman, seem to think that you decide what it is. Well, that's why we won't be together for much longer. And I've got my dates planned, and I'll be booking a flight to Thailand the day after. I've literally done that twice. Right, where are we? Bullet. I've put a new link in there, Chris. Very funny. All right, man. It won't be today, but I'll check it out. I won't be able to find it now. Or let me have a look, see if I can. I'm a little bit. I don't like showing clips that I haven't seen, because sometimes it just changes the mood a little bit. But you are a regular and you donate every day. And so, okay, this actually looks quite funny. All right, I'll play that a bit later. I've got it, Bullet. Nice one. Thanks for that donation as well. Oh, where was that? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, swing. Rufus, did you mention the message I sent you? Yeah, sorry, Sub-Saharan Africa. What, an email, was it? Where was it? Send it to me on here, because I don't know what you're talking about. If it's an email, probably not. I had so many emails to get through. And look, this is why today's stream is probably going to be about an hour, maybe about an hour and a quarter, because it's going to be dark here then. I've got to get my hair cut. Here's why I went to bed at 6 a.m. And this is good for you. Well, it's good for those of you subscribed to my Substack. There's no need to say, what's a Substack? I can't stop you saying things. I'm sure you will. Don loves it. Hello, Baz. So I'm working on this story, and I don't want to give any spoilers away. I rarely read books twice. I don't know if I've ever read a book twice, because what I like about storytelling is storytelling. And And that's to do with pacing. It's to do with rhythm. It's to do with timbre. And it's to do with tension, suspense. It's to do with unpredictability. It's to do with predictability as well. I quite like that about Bukowski. You know, this happens, this happens, this happens. And I'm thinking, okay, so this is going to happen. And then it does. And you're like, bingo. And that's not me being able to see into the future, or that's not me understanding Bukowski. It's just because he does write predictably. And there's something nice about that, because you like, yeah, I get it. And so, okay. So I don't want to tell you too much about this one I'm working on, but it's the new Substack. It has taken too long. I'm well out of my 2 a month ratio, but the subs are great. So massive respect to me and you. But it's a short about a bloke I met. Oh, I don't want to ruin it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but it's been quite something. I've had to talk to a few friends because they met him. I don't want to tell you anything about it. So anyway, I think I've told the quote before. There's not writing and there's writing, but the only acceptable time is having just written. If you're a writer, you're either writing or not writing. And if you're writing, it's hell, because writing's hard and it demands so much of you on so many levels, especially when it's autobiographical. But not writing is also hell, because you're like, I need to write. I should be writing. I want to write. And you've got other things to do, or you know, so there's writing and not writing, and they're both terribly annoying and hard. The only acceptable time is having just written, because then you're like, yeah, I just popped out 3,000 words. Yeah, and they're really good. Lovely. But so last night, remember I said to you, I'm going to watch Once Upon a Time in the West. And I bought it off of the internet. I used my card and definitely bought it off the internet. And I thought, all right, I've got that racked up. I thought, I'll tell you what, Chris, you've been talking about getting things done. Why don't you do an hour on the story before you watch the movie? And then you can know that at least you've put an hour in. And then it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, file open, bosh, I'm on it, right? That 5-second thing. Because if I didn't do it in 5 seconds, fuck it, just watch the movie. Don't torture yourself making excuses. Oh, I just make some Weetabix. Oh, I just need to clean this up. And then you're into that procrastination. The contradiction of procrastination is that you end up doing loads of other things to distract yourself from the pain of not doing the thing that you should be doing. So you end up doing more anyway. It's crazy. Humans are mad, man. That's all I've ever really learned. Humans are mental, but they are beautiful for it. I'd rather them be mental than not, because if you're not mental, you're standard, and we don't need standard. There's so much uniformity. I'm going for it. I'm having it. I don't care. Fuck you. I make up words all the time in my work, although this isn't my work. Well, it is grifting, obviously. So, you know, but that ain't even going well. 30 minutes. Good Lord. Nice one for that bullet. Did I miss any others while I'm looking here? I see you, Chris, and I got Grim in, didn't I? Usual suspects. Pax Max, hello, son. Wifey really sent after. There you go. I bet she did it all. And why wouldn't she? What are the semiotics of you coming back from work? You've been out in the world. You've been working. You've been working with metal and oil and grease. You've been earning money. You've been looking after her. You've been protecting the family patch. Of course, the signs of that are just they all stack up. A woman is genetically programmed to require looking after. And I know the scrub women aren't going to be like, what? I don't need looking after. Well, it's probably better for you if you have children that you've got a bloke there. That's just obvious. And so what you've done there, Pax Max, is you've racked up so many things that go back millennia in terms of her reading those signs on an unconscious level. You know, dirty working bastard. Oh yeah, work on this. Work on this body. Nice one, Pax Max. Hello, Space Opera. I replied to your email. It was a bit rapid because, like I say, I was working through loads. But I'll have a think. But It's free trade, mate. I know, I get your point, but free trade's a piece of piss. Find the stock, move some money from your bank into free trade, buy. Then you've got it. That's it. It's that easy. I don't know. You rarely hear me say this, but I know nothing about buying stocks. Otherwise you're going to need a broker, and you're going to have to pay a broker. Free trade is your broker. He's going to cost you $3 a month, or £3 a month. Sorry. So, lovely. That's better than a broker. And the broker's going to try and get you to take risks that you don't need to. Anyway, right. Is Dave Thompson on the firm? Dave is on the firm. Nice one, Dave. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope your channel's going well. Bullet says it's so good over there. No advertisers to keep happy. Did you see him on CNN, Bullet, the CEO of Substack, saying, nah, we don't censor people. We think people who are wrong, or you could call conspiracy theories, we think it's important they have a voice. Actually, more important that they have a voice. The CNN bloke was going, shut up. And Substack is going, it's growing so fast. And this is the new platform. And this is why capitalist competition is actually a wonderful thing. Because Substack looked at Facebook, they looked at Twitter, they looked at this, they looked at that, and they thought, okay, so how do we compete with these? From nothing. With what? With the written word. How does the written word compete with YouTube? Well, the first thing we do is not censor people. They've drawn a line. They've drawn a very deep line in the sand. They went, right, is it illegal? You're welcome. Fantastic. And it's not all just fiction. It's just anything. If you can write it, you'll find it on Substack. And it's like being in a different world. You know why? Because it is a different world. It is a different world over there. It's not the world that we've been shaped to understand. It's not the world we've been forced to adjust our intelligence to. It's not the world that we've been forced to adjust our thinking to mold ourselves to fit at some cost to our own abilities, our own sophistication. And when you actually go there and it's like, hang on, you can't say that. You're like, well, hang on. Sorry. I thought I was on Facebook again because I've been trained to think this is how it goes. I've been trained to think, oh, you can't say that. And most Substacks have comments, and the comments are fantastic. People actually having honest debates in the comments. I use it for fiction, autobiographic fiction. It's true, but I don't want to get arrested. So, Moslab is reading a great book on flint napping. Now, I'm going to posit a guess. Is that where you make things out of flint by hitting them with another bit of flint? You know what, Don? When I was at one of my art schools, I had a music department. I was doing a minor. In those days, you could do a major and a minor, from major to minor. And they had some harmonicas that were about that long, really. So it had like the range of piano down here, like. And I remember when I saw the first harmonica with a thing on it, so that you could change keys rather than having a little wallet of all the different keys. You could use this thing to get your semitones, and you could play in different keys. Fuck me, that was hard work. I mean, any fucker can get hold of a little harmonica. If the tune's in C, yeah, I've got it. But you try using that thing to get the semitones. It's only like a little slider on the edge. I don't know why he said harmonica though, but there you go. Jay's there, repping the Twitch massive. Respect to you, son. I mean, nice. Moslab is in here, isn't he? Not Moslab, Rags is in here, isn't he? I'm coming back to that, Baz. Yeah, but I do, because I think I'll just write it and think, well, hang on a minute. I know that isn't a word, but it makes sense to me. And that, I don't think, I know you're joking, but yes, Shakespeare made up loads of words, but Hunter S. Thompson made up gonzo to mean something. And if you don't make up words, how does language develop? How does language evolve? How do you get new words if you don't make them up? You don't. You have to make up new words if you want new words. And sometimes flunkinetic is the word I want, and I'm going to put flunkinetic. That's an actual word I used once. Flunkinetic. My editor said, "What's flunkinetic?" I said, "What do you think it is?" And in context, he actually got it right. He actually got it right. But I want to go back to another comment about that Western. Oh, that's why you mentioned the harmonica. Once Upon a Time in the West. If you do build your own house, you won't even have time to breathe. There's a difference between building my own house and designing my own house. I'll be getting a crew in. I'm not going to be there with hammers and nails and angle grinders. It's just not me. Yeah, one of the greatest film scorers of our time. But there was another comment. So yeah, I was going to watch Once Upon a Time in the West. So let me get back to where I started about 40 minutes ago. Hot neighbour alert. Didn't really want her to see me bending over in a crowd. But maybe she did. Right, so I'll sit down. Let's do an hour on this story. Let's get it sorted. And I shit you not. And if Lumi's in, or anyone else who writes, he'll know this, or you'll know this. And I've looked up at one point, it's getting light. Honestly, it was just, that's what happened. It was getting light. And I thought, fuck me, what's the time? Looked at the time for the first time since I started writing, and I'd been at it for 5 hours. I'd done 5 hours, because it's heaven. When it's working, it's just heaven. Turned out about 3,500 words. Now, after editing, that would probably go, there'll be half of them left. But then I thought, I better go to bed. And that's what happened. That's why I didn't watch Once Upon a Time in the West. But now I'd much rather have done what actually happened last night. You know, there's nothing wrong with staying up all night as long as you're doing something. Oh, Richard's been on Google. He says there's a biological reason scents attract or repel. All comes down to the likelihood of having healthy children. Yeah, I don't know the science behind it. I've just seen it work in the real world. So we're having vape problems, people. Sometimes it just means cleaning the nodules of the batteries. And the little, what do you call it? Nodes, receptors, Charcasapane, Lucina papucci, Carta parado, sorted. Yeah, that would make sense, Richard. I mean, most things are about that, aren't they? Most things. Thank you, Meganesia. That's very kind of you. In the beginning was the word, then which came, than what? In the beginning was the word, than which came first? The word or for chicken or the word for egg. There you go. You've caused another layer of confusion by looking at the linguistic element of the age-old question of the chicken or the egg. And there you have evolution. That's the answer. There's a very, very, if Horace is watching, he's going to throw his keyboard at the screen. There's a very, very good essay in Jacques Derrida's book of grammatology. I mean, it's next to impossible to read, but it's a reading of Rousseau's essay on the origin of languages. And Derrida gets into this whole thing about the idea of an origin being a linguistic idea, because Derrida believes in language as the sort of fundamental underpinning of reality. That's a bit, that is one hell of a summary for a body of work that also questions that. But yeah, if you're interested in that, actually, if you're interested in that area, I know Megan Easy, this isn't where you would go, and you're making a joke. Nice one on the 100 Tsar, but read Rousseau's essay on it's called On the Origin of Languages. Very interesting essay. And once you've read that, check out Derrida's reading of it, if you want. If you want. Right, I have actually got Liam says to answer the question, the egg came first by hundreds of millions of years. There you go. Crusher Grape says pheromones allow two people to access immune system compatibility. There you go, which I suppose is what Richard was saying, subconsciously. Well, I'd probably say unconsciously, but it's, tomatoes. Yeah, it's there's a semiotic conversation going on at a level outside of consciousness. And I've seen it working. I've seen it work time and time again. Hello, Ian. How are you, mate? I hope your dad had a good birthday. I need to change my coils and cotton. I can't be asked. Do you make your own coils? I quite get into it, Ian. I'll tell you why. I change my coils almost every day because my thinking is I've only got one set of lungs, and you do get a bit of carbon or whatever. I imagine it's carbon. Build up on your coils, and when you change your coils and your cotton, you can taste the juice again. It's fresh, it's new. But yeah, I quite like it. I've got the little tools and the little wind. I haven't got the winder. I have to manually wind them, but I've got the thing that has got the incremental. Why don't I show you? This is my vape. What a boring old bloke. This is the tin where I store my vape replacement coils stuff. I've got a pair of wire snippers. I've got some cotton. I've got some scissors. I've got a very nice pair of ceramic tipped tweezers. Yeah. But this is what I'm talking about, Ian. It's something sharp. It's hurting me. Don't attack me. I belong to me. I've got that. Have you got one of those, Ian? I got it off eBay for about £1. This thing at the end tells you what all the different sizes are. So it's got somewhere on it there. Can you see that? So it's like 0.2 mil, 0.1 mil, and then it goes down. So you can choose the gauge of your coils. Very handy bit of kit, that. Whew, we're really going there today, aren't we? Yeah. Right, I have got some things to show you. And I've got a question for you. Who has... No, don't fall over. Hi. That was a little spark. The grift has been absolutely appalling for 43 minutes. But that's all right. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, I'll just keep talking. I'll just keep talking. I won't do a 3-hour stream later to make up for today's short one. I don't think it'd be that short, actually. I'll probably do about another half hour. Right. One in the chat. Have you seen a film with Christopher Walken called Seven Psychopaths? And is it any good? I've never heard of it. I told you I watched the Deer Hunter yesterday, and I was just amazed at Christopher Walken's performance. Excuse me. I was amazed at Walken's performance. And so I went and had a look around the internet to see some of his best scenes because, I was really impressed with how he can do so much with so little, right? And I found this clip. Okay, so you've seen it and it's good, is it? It's real funny. Yes. Okay. Because I don't like, there's no point going to Rotten Tomatoes because, it's a strange old, you're already looking at votes of people who bother voting on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, so you've already got a weird subset of the population anyway. It's a myth that, this is what people think. No, this is what people who vote on Rotten Tomatoes think. So I'm going to show you a little clip of it. Now, the clip doesn't go anywhere and it's not full of action. But I want you to see how much how much Christopher Walken can do with very little, very little. And going back to writing, which is why this interests me, you know, I am intentionally verbose in my writing. I want it to be tongue twisters. I like that. I like the rhythm of that. You know, I don't want to make a simple point. I want to make a confusing point simple. No, I want to make a simple point confusing. I actually want to do both. But check this scene out. He's got nothing pretty. He's got about 3 words to work with. And it's fucking brilliant. It's like he's brilliant. So let us know you've got audio. I don't like saying that every time, but I screwed it yesterday. But in terms of script, he's got next to nothing here. I think it's about 3 or 4 words. And just the power of his physicality and his expression. For me, Walken is all about his expression. That first scene in the Deer Hunter with the Russian roulette thing, it's just his expression. And what's beautiful about it, especially if you know what happens in the film, because if you don't know, spoiler alert, they're forced to play Russian roulette in a Vietnamese prisoner of war camp, which is horrible. I was crying watching that because I know the film. And of course, later on in the movie, Christopher Walken plays Russian roulette for a living, but he's not doing it for a job. He's doing it because he's the trauma. So the only way he can cope with that trauma is to revisit it, which is standard psychology, really. Unless you're actually going to deal with the underlying causes on a superficial level, you repeat it. You know, we all know this. We all know how people who've had trauma will repeat that trauma, and you know, people who've been abused as children will repeat that abuse on themselves. You know, self-harmers are a classic example. Why do you cut yourself? Well, so weirdly, it turned out you were abused as a kid. So in that opening scene in the Deer Hunter, what's incredible about Walken's performance, and I might dig it out actually so we can see it. It's hard work though. And it might be a bit early. I don't know if we should start the day on the Deer Hunter. But what's incredible about it is you can see in his face that this is etching itself into his psyche. This is now becoming part of him. Whereas De Niro's character isn't letting it. Fuck it, we're going to watch a bit of it. We're not going to watch all of it. It's too much. But we're going to watch I just want you to see his expression. Because he's read the script, he knows how important this scene is to him. He knows that this is going to define his future. Whereas the other survivors go back to their hometown and have to deal with reality, he stays in his trauma. He stays at that moment. And in that first scene, he shows you that. He gives it to you. I'm never coming out of this. You see it on his face. I'm never coming out of this now. This here happening now will define my life and ultimately death. I won't show you all of it. It is too much. I'm not treating you like this isn't trigger warnings or anything, but it just is too much. But I'm not showing you it for the whole thing. I'm just showing you it for Walken's face, and they keep slapping him, and it's fucking hard work. YouTube might yeet me if I show too much of it, so I'm going to forward it a little bit. But I want you to pay attention. Right, they're in a prisoner of war camp. They're being held in a bamboo cage in the Mekong Delta. So they're up to their necks in water 24 hours a day. Your body can't handle that. After about 6 hours, you start absorbing the muck of the Mekong Delta. You know, and they're covered in scars and scabs, and they're breaking down. So they've got to get out, right? Now, what the Vietnamese guards do is make them play Russian roulette. They put a bullet in the gun, they spin it on the table, and they have to do it. And if you don't want to watch this, actually, this is a trigger warning. This is a really heavy scene. So maybe, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, you're going to survive, what, a week, 2 weeks max. So what And I find this a bit unlikely, and it's a bit of a weak point in the film. What De Niro says is, why don't we get him to put 3 bullets in the chamber? And that's enough to shoot 2 geezers with a gun, and then maybe we can get a gun off them and get out of here. But that doesn't take anything away from the power of the scene. And I want you to just check out Christopher Walken giving the audience the depth of this trauma, how it's going to define his life. This is being carved into his personality. And Robert De Niro, no. And it doesn't define Robert De Niro's future or his character development. It's really powerful, but trigger warning, maybe make a cup of tea if you don't want this for breakfast Tuesday. And unfortunately, I might have to interrupt it at parts simply because YouTube will, maybe they'll stop the stream because they'll think I'm playing a movie. Well, I am. Here we go. Look how little he's got. There's no words here. It's just incredible. And I'd rather not give this commentary, but if I don't, thank you, Pax Max. If I don't, we don't get to see it. But it's so good. Not the same. De Niro's different. De Niro's aware of his environment. De Niro's checking out what's going on. De Niro's got a plan. But Walken is obsessed with the gun. He's obsessed with the Russian roulette. Look, he's alive and aware. Still looking at the gun. Look, this is amazing. That's where they've got them. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see my cursor? There's their friend. There's one of their other mates there. And he's on his way out, he's rotting. And yeah, so it's heavy. It's a heavy situation.
Come on! These fuckers. Go ahead, Nicky. It's going to be all right.
Look, you see, simple. It's going to be all right. He doesn't think that. He's maintaining his strength. He's maintaining hope. And because when you lose hope, you lose everything. And Walken has lost hope.
It's going to be all right.
And he shows you it.
Go ahead, Nicky.
And that, we've got to watch that again. I just want you to pay real attention to he's got nothing. He's got no words here, no words. But look how you can tell that this is etching itself into his very being.
Yeah.
Still looking at the gun there, still looking down. Look, still feeling it. And look how different that is compared with De Niro's whole persona. Now he's going for his plan. Look at the picture of Ho Chi Minh in the background there. Interesting.
3. We do 3, huh? 1, 2, 3. 3.
Right, we don't need to see the next bit for a while. Okay. See, look, he's playing him. He's going for this free gun, this free bullet lark, because that's enough to take out a couple of the guards. I mean, what a fucking situation to be in. When we were talking yesterday about war, and when I used to go on nationalist streams a lot, and people would be going like, we need war. Let's have we need to get out there with guns. Well, yeah, if you think it's like Rambo, go for it. But no, imagine you're there sitting opposite someone you grew up with. They're both in the same town, these blokes, which happened in Vietnam, of course. And you get caught up in one of these prisoner of war camps where what went on in those camps is far worse than this. Far worse things happened. There's plenty of documentation. And imagine you've just got your best mate from your childhood sitting opposite you, having to play Russian roulette. This is the real depth of what war does to people. Not just them, but the Vietnamese people. You know, they've been completely dehumanized. You can put a couple of months before, those Vietnamese people were probably raising kids and farming. And then they had this fucking millions of troops arrive. They had the Viet Cong invade South Vietnam, and they're totally dehumanized as well. They're doing this for entertainment. They're gambling on this. They weren't doing that a few weeks before. And I'll tell you something very strange, and I've got to be a little bit careful here. Where I live, right? You know what happened where I lived. If you don't, look into it. You should do. Anyone here over about 40 was either on one side or the other side. And that's not like 2% here, 98% here. It's about 50-50. So when I meet someone here who's got a couple of fingers missing, who's got a scar down there, who's got an eye missing, regular, that's not weird here. They've probably killed people. Loads. You know, I think something like a third of the population got murdered in this country. And that trauma hangs in this nation. You know, there's no getting away from it. It was only a few years ago. You haven't got to go back to the 60s. And there's people who've got to deal with that. It's just, you know, come on, it's fucking so much more complicated than, yeah, let's just get some guns. See, even with the shouting and the growling, he's got something to work with. He's got material. He's got words. Christopher Walken's still silent. Look at that expression. It's the difference between the two that's incredible. Oh.
I'm gonna Willis out of here. You got an empty chamber in that gun. Put an empty chamber in that gun.
Fuck me, man. It's unbearable, isn't it?
God damn it. It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot. Shoot, Nicky.
I mean, just that level of fucking frustration. This is, you know, you're there. This is happening. And you know, there's a certain madness about the extremes of life, where, you know, I think I'm walking in that. I'd like to think I'm De Niro going, we can do this, we're getting out of here, just fucking, you know, put an empty chamber in that gun. I'd like to think I'm that character, but I think I go under. I think I break, and that's what's happened. Walken has broken, and he never repairs. And that's not because he's weak. It's because this situation is fucking hell on earth. But I'll forward it a little bit. And I'd rather us just watch the whole thing, but I will get in trouble. I don't need to keep saying that. I've got to give you the payoff or it's not fair.
Nicky, go ahead. Just do it. Do it. Go ahead.
Look, it's incredible, that rapid descent into madness. It's incredible. Look, nothing to work with. He did you see that? He covers up his smile. It's so good. I'm shit at acting. I had a couple of auditions when I was a comedian. I just can't act. I can't do it. Look how little this fucker's got to work with. Virtually no words. That covering his own smile. When people put their hands over their face, over their mouth, you know, they're not wanting to express what they're expressing. And he doesn't want to express that smile. He doesn't want to. And because he knows he ain't coming out. Look. Yeah, you've gone. He's gone. He knows it. I'll give you the payoff. Otherwise, it's not fair.
tu mouth. Mouth.
Totally different performance from De Niro. He's above it. He's winning. Yeah, look. Yeah. He knows he's your fuck, mate. Lovely. And now he tries to get his mate out after he's smashing his brains in. See, look, the difference. Look, he don't want to go. He wants it. Look, he can't get him to leave. I mean, it was kind of weird because I had two agendas there. I was talking about war and dehumanization, but also Walken's character acting. It's a masterpiece. It's an absolute... And you look, I know De Niro's a complete cuck. He thinks he's a gangster. It's weird. He's become his own gangsters. But that is a masterpiece. And, you know, I've talked before about Meisner technique, repetitions, where you're working with someone. And that little scene there is just absolutely glorious. 22.3% femme audience. I'm a god. Let me just work out. 22% of 9 people is what? About 0.6. Go on, son. That's a pair of legs. You can't come here and brag like that, son. It just ain't going to cut. And the fucking grift, Jimmy, has been absolutely appalling. So thank you for that. Thank you, Jimmy. I hope you have a nice day, mate. I watched your stream last night. Yes, Don, of course. That's why I had to show it. There was nothing in it to support my what I was talking about. But without it, I don't want you to finish your day. You know, that's why they set it up like that. Right, now, this is a scene from 7 Psychopaths. Nothing like that. You can all come back to the computer. Let me just check entropy. I missed a couple yesterday. Sorry about missing a couple of entropies yesterday, people. You're all right. Now, this is a scene I found when I was looking for Walken and seeing what he can do with very little. And nothing really happens here. So don't expect anything like what you just saw. But I just want you to see... what he does with so little. It's amazing. Again, because I've got no acting abilities at all. I just cannot do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And so it amazes me. It fascinates me how people can. You know, you watch a movie and people are absolutely convincing me that they're that person. How are you doing that? How do you know how to do that? Yes, you've practiced, but you know, this is why I love movies so much, because I'm totally convinced. I'm in there. It's like, this is reality, right? This is a documentary. I'm so lost when I watch a film. But check out Walken. It's only a minute long. I think he says a couple of words, but just check out his face. You know, it's so more relevant if you can do it with your boat. Check it out. Don't worry, it's nothing like that last one. And nothing really happens, but just check out Walken. Can I have an audio check, please? Right, no shit, right? Even something like that. When I've done auditions and they've said, walk over there, and one of them was to repair a bike. So I had to come in and honestly, hang on, make sure my clamor don't fall down. Honestly, I've only got one sandal on. I'm sort of like this. I'm sort of like, hang on, can you see me? I'm sort of like this. I just can't do it. And I already know a lot about his character just from the way he's walking. I'll take it back a bit. I'm already told a bit because people walk in many different ways, and he knows as an actor, he knows that his character is going to walk like this, and he can do that. It's fucking amazing. And this is why movies are just beautiful, because you get hours of this quality. Nice one, little bullet for the sound check. Check him out. I'll just take it back a little bit, just so you can see that walking. Amazing. Lovely cinematography, though. Look at that. Amazing.
Put your hands up. No.
That's brilliant. One word. One word. And there's so much there. I don't know this movie. I ain't seen this movie. And I know so much about him. I get it. I know you are some. One word. No. And just everything about it. We'll have another look. We'll have another look at that. No. How do you do that? Films are brilliant, man. All right, check it out again.
Put your hands up. No. I said no. Why not? I don't want to. But I've got a gun. I don't care. Doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
Amazing. And him, great from him as well. Two actors working off each other.
I don't know. Yes, you do know. No, I don't know. You do know. Shoot me then.
Right, and you know, we've talked about that many, many times, that Meisner technique, and all these old boys do it, reps. You know, I've told you before, you've got a blue jumper, and then the other person goes, I've got a blue jumper, you've got a blue jumper, I've got a blue jumper. And you keep doing that until there's a change in mood. And then when you see that, you go, you don't like my jumper. They go, I don't like your jumper. And they go, yeah, you don't like my jumper. Oh, I don't like your jumper. And then that keeps going until there's a change in mood. But you have to see it. You don't contrive it. If you contrive it, the tutor goes, no, that didn't happen. And then you'll be like, why are you nervous? Me nervous? Yeah, you nervous. Me nervous? And this goes on for hours. I shit you not. In what was his name? Sanford Meisner's original reps classes, which is now called method acting. This stuff can go on for hours. And you've seen it in films. You've seen it in the classic one is, what, you think I'm funny? Joe Pesci. No, just, you're funny. What, I'm fucking funny? Yeah, you're fucking funny. What, I'm a funny guy? Yeah, you're a funny. That's just reps. Just reps. Brilliant. And these two do it here as well. Pretty much same thing. Obviously, it's, you know, it's made into a script rather than a practice. Another great one is Taxi Driver, looking in the mirror, and the geezer in Lahane, that Vincent, can't remember his second name. He's looking in the mirror and he's going, "You looking at me?" And he's doing a reps with himself. "You looking at me?" And he's trying to get it right. "You looking at me? You looking at me?" Fantastic. Well, just take that back. And there's one little rep there. You'll spot it now.
Doesn't make any sense. Too bad. Well, where are your friends? I don't know. Yes, you do know. No, I don't know. You do know. Shoot me then.
There you go. Amazing. You see it? See the little rep there? Oh, fuck. It was on small screen. Sorry, people. But there's that little, I don't know. You don't know, I do know. Just a little indication of that. Yeah.
Well, where are your friends? I don't know. Yes, you do know. No, I don't know. You do know. Shoot me then.
And you will see that. You look out for it, people. You'll see that in so many movies. Not the full reps, but just that little, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a resolution. Shoot me then, because where'd you go? You do know. I don't know. You do know. It's like children, isn't it? Oh, yes, you do. You're gay. I'm not. You, yes, you are. You are. Yeah. And then he goes, shoot me then, because it can't go anywhere. You do know. I don't. You do. I don't. Fuck it. Shoot me then, because I've got no other answer. I don't know where they are, because he doesn't. And that's pretty much it. But I was just very impressed with Walken there. So I wanted to know if the movie's worth watching. But he's still at it. Incredible stuff. Absolutely amazing. Films are fucking great. Right. National Treasure, John Lydon. National Treasure, John Lydon. John says YouTube is down, Danger. What? Could no one see me? Can no one see me? Am I talking to myself? Serious question. Is this down? Hello? No, I haven't. I don't know that I'm up. I don't know whether you can see me or not. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I've been banned, have I? Okay. Oh, God. Okay, I'm not back yet. Yeah, yes, I've been talking to myself for 5 minutes. Am I back yet? I'm back. Right. Anyway, so you missed all that stuff I was talking about. I'm not going to risk it again. Yeah. How terrible is that? Come on. It was blatantly transformative. I was interrupting it more than anyone else. They're on me, those bastards. Good Lord, they're on me. Right, listen, Little Bullet, I'm going to have to show that one this evening. I had another few things I wanted to show you, but I haven't got time, so I've got to go and get my hair cut, and they'll be closed in a bit. Sorry about that. I was saying some amazing things about Reps and Meisner and the way walking, but I know it, so no good to me. But I want to show you something that's really important. There's a school. What one is it? It's Richfield High School in Minnesota, right? Richfield High School for the English, which is most of us here, or British. That's a secondary school, right? So, 11 to 15, 11 to 16, whatever. They have a staff meeting every day before the school day, right? They have a staff meeting before the day every day. And every day they read out this thing. And I'm going to show you, and it's from our mate at Memology 101. This is going to, you're not going to be surprised, but this ain't going to last because we've seen it happening. Actually, I've got another little clip I've got to show you after this, which is like an answer to this. So be prepared to go, eh? And imagine being a young child in this school, right? They do this every single day. Thank you, Little Bullet. That's very, very kind of you. I'm not at all a fan of Costner, but he plays a very good baddie in the movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I haven't seen it, never heard of it. Nice one, Bullet. How do I remember that? I will think of the Proclaimers song, and I would walk 500 miles. There you go. That's my mnemonic link. Nice one, Bullet. Thanks for the donation. It's been absolutely appalling. Right, check this, people. I've got to just make sure the audio. Every single day, they start with this, right? Check it.
So if we can get started. So we're going to start like we start all of our high school meetings which is with our Richfield High School Vision of Equity. For those of you that...
Well, I'll just read that for you if you're watching on your phone. RHS, that's Richfield High School. We believe in providing a rigorous and equitable education reflecting the strengths and experiences of our community. We believe students learn best when they feel safe and affirmed in who they are. All fair, that's all fair enough. Therefore, we commit to dismantling policies and practices that benefit whiteness and other systems of privilege. What? Imagine being a little white kid at that school. Every day they start with this. You listen to what she says.
Don't know. Last year, 100% of our staff had input.
Nice one, Chris Eyre.
In saying where do we want to be eventually as a school community and how we have all of our program work through a base of equitable access for all learners. And so all of our staff created a personal vision of equity, and then we worked together until we came to a single vision of equity in all programs, all decisions, all policies that we decide upon at a local level are measured against our vision of equity to make sure we're working toward the same direction for our students.
Come on, blah, 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 blah.
So I will read it. At Richfield High School, we believe in providing a rigorous and equitable education reflecting the strengths and experiences of our community.
Every day.
Best when they feel safe and affirmed in who they are. Therefore, we commit to dismantling policies and processes that benefit whiteness and other systems of privilege. We understand and know that as a school community, we're not there, but we also know that we have a measure
you've
and
heard enough of that bullshit. However, I've got a response to it. Now, I just closed down all the videos I'd racked up, but I can't leave you with that because it ain't all bad what's happening. Let me just find this clip. Where is it? All right, this is really interesting, and it's kind of a response to this. Have I got it at the right place? Right. So here's a mum who's got kids at one of this kind of schools, right? But you might notice. By the way, her message is to take your kids out of school, right? Take your kids out of school. And we've seen this. We've seen this many times. But there's something about this one that makes it stand out. And I'll tell you what, Wolfie, you've just nailed it. You've just nailed it. Check this out. This is quite something. You'll probably notice the little difference I'm referring to.
On critical race theory being taught in the public schools. Let's watch now.
My name is Keisha King. I'm a mom of two, one who's in the Duval County public school system and one in private school, thanks to school choice. I'm also a member of Moms for Liberty, representing thousands of parents. Just coming off of May 31st, marking the 100 years of the Tulsa riots, it is sad that we are even contemplating something like critical race theory, where children will be separated by their skin color and deemed permanently oppressors or oppressed in 2021. That is not teaching the truth, unless you believe that whites are better than blacks.
And there you have it. There you have it. You see, this is classic Democrats. This is classic utopianist thinking. No, separate them. Separate them. Well, why? Why? What? They can't compete on the same playing field? Absolutely nailed it.
I have personally heard teachers teaching CRT, and we have had an assembly shut down because Duval County Public School System consultant thought it would be a great idea to separate students by race. This is unacceptable. CRT is not racial sensitivity or simply teaching unfavorable American history or teaching Jim Crow history. CRT is deeper and more dangerous than that. CRT, and its outworking today, is a teaching that there is a hierarchy in society where white, male, heterosexual, able-bodied people are deemed the oppressor, and anyone else outside of that status is oppressed. That's why we see corporations like Coca-Cola asking their employees to be less white, which is ridiculous. I don't know about you, but telling my child or any child that they are in a permanent oppressed status in America because they are Black is racist. And saying that white people are automatically above me, my children, or any child is racist as well. This is not something that we can stand for in our country. And don't take it from me. Look at the writers of these types of publications. Our ancestors, white, Black, and others, hung, bled, and died right alongside each other to push America towards that more perfect union.
There you go. You don't need to hear the rest of it. Fantastic. Can you imagine all those white liberals on the school board sitting up there going, no, this wasn't meant to. No, we were trying to keep you happy. We love you. We think you're great. You're Black. Hey! No, she's not having it. And this is going on. We've seen other videos like this. Nice one, Jambo. I appreciate that. People, I've got to go and get my hair cut because he's going to be shut in about 15 minutes and I've got to get a shower in. So that's that fucked. People, it's been a good stream. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Sorry about the little slap on the wrists I got from YouTube. We lost about 15 viewers. That's why it's a pain in the ass, because people have got low attention spans, including me. If I'm watching a video and the screen goes black, I'm probably not hanging around for very long, although I will dip back, and they came back. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and Moslab as ever. Thank you to everyone who engaged in the chat. Thanks for hanging around while there was a screen with nothing happening. And I will see you later today, probably a bit earlier, actually. It'll probably be about 4 o'clock because I've got to get this fucking story finished. And I'm not getting it finished by doing other things. However, that's good news for you, because if I start earlier, I will just go on longer and I won't do what I meant to do, because I really enjoy these streams. You lot are brilliant. I'm all right. I will catch up with you later. Enjoy your day, because it's another one in your life that's flying past. And you don't get too many, which is worth bearing in mind. See you later, people. Buffer me up, you bastard. It was such a great end of stream speech, and then I got buffered. Oh, come on, man. I'm going to get corn pop on the phone. There you go. Ta-da!
Everyone knows I'm gonna be the first man down. All my friends are
nice one, Sally. I'll check it out.
Around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break.
Hello, Windy. I hope you're having a good time. Yeah. I'll be there. All right, here we go. Here we go, King.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
See you later, MSM.
Gonna make my grave.
See you later, MSM.
Underneath the waves.
See you later, MSM.
I'm going deep.
No, nice one, Bullet. Will do.
Down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed.
Cheers, John. Sorry, it was a short one, people.
I rejected every place I stayed. Woman says I'm lying in the bed I've made.
See you later, MSM.
She says warriors don't give up before the war begins. So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad and people get sad, but at least they have a cause. I struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the waves. I'm going deep, deep
Good call, Grego. See you later, MSM. See you later, MSM. It's a strange old map you got there, son. You're all right, Rags. Well done, Ian. Did you do the 5-second thing? Yes. Hit that like, people. It'd be very kind of you. That 5-second thing has changed my life. No shit. Like when this stream's finished, I'll go, right, shower. 5, 4. And if I ain't in it, my hair don't get cut. It's that simple. Cheers, Baz. Oh, no, are you like AI commenting today, or what the hell's going on? I'm going deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. Oh, okay. Deep down underwater. No 5-second shite. I just got it done. You can. There you go. Well done, Wolfie. Amazing, isn't it? It's weird. Cheers, Riggs. Thank you to all of you, and I will see you later. Much later.